Hi, thank you for joining me. You're watching Esther from Stampin' Star Creations. I'm using the dies from the Eclectic Layers Thinlits set, and we're going to use some of our water paper, and I'll just watercolour on here first and then talk you through the rest. So I'm going to press in the centre of my ink pads, which creates a nice palette for me in the lid, and then we're going to go in with the water pen and pick up some of that colour. Now, to give us a guideline, I'm just going to place that down in the centre. If you do the centre one first, it gives you a rough idea of, sorry I'm off screen, I'm just putting my brush into a bit of that colour. It just gives you a rough idea of where that colour should go. And also you want to leave the bottom half for your soil. So I'm just going to do this and then I'll tell you about the rest of the things. Give you some top tips for how to use this set. Okay, so I've gone in my pool party. I'm just going to get that colour off my brush, and I'm going to use chocolate chip for the soil half. I found that the watercolour paper works better than the shimmer paper. It just gives you more of a washed look and the colours merge a bit more. Okay, I'm just going to set that aside to dry in the hope that it will dry in time for me to show you at the end of the video. Okay, so I've used the diamond dies from the set to obviously create these little, I think they're called terrariums or vivariums, I get them all mixed up, whatever they are, these little cages here. So it is the diamond shape, but I've turned it upside down to create that shape. I found it's actually easier to cut this shape first out of the copper card and then put that die on top to cut these out. I did try doing it the other way and it is more tricky. So you want to cut 3 of those, and I've gone ahead and cut everything out. 2 of these little sprigs. Now again, this set has 2 sprigs. One is for cutting, one is for embossing. There's your cutting one, there's your embossing one. And then just using the top of this large die, that's how we cut away that top half of these 2 leaves here. One in lemon lime twist and one in tranquil tide. Now I'm going to perform a bit of an operation on this larger one because I want it only to have 2 twigs on it. Now one leaf is slightly closer to the top leaf, and it's this one here, so I'm going to perform a bit of surgery. You could use scissors or you could just tear it off. So that's how you get that plant like that. And also, just to make it a bit more realistic, I'm going to go in with my sponge and a bit of the white ink to just dab around the edges to lose a bit of that intensity of the colour. And the same with the green. It doesn't show up as much, but it just helps to dull down that colour a little bit. Okay, this is still nearly there. Still drying a bit. Now I'm just going to bend these a little bit around my fingers just to create that shape like that. Now this is the tricky bit. Get your fine tip glue pen. Oops. And we're going to run this along the shape, and this is where we're going to, sorry, I'm a bit off screen, let me just zoom in a little bit. Just run that along the edges. Then you can stick your plant inside and fit it in. It is a little bit tricky. There you go, give that a chance to dry. And then the same with the other one. Sorry, off camera again. Let me zoom you back out. Okay, and again, these are a little tricky, but I just think it's so worth it because they look really cute inside. So just layering these up. Oh, sticking to me now. Come on, stay down. Okay, then we're going to get some of our mini dimensionals, which are very mini, and stick them on the leaves. Now these fit the bigger leaves, but we run into a bit of trouble doing these tiny ones. I'm just going to stick one on each. Now with the tiny ones, I got the end of the strip and just cut a strip from the side and cut 2 of those down to stick along the middle of the sprig ones. It is a bit fiddly, but it just helps it to stand out, and you can barely see it. You can see it a little bit, but you can barely see it on the other side. It doesn't want to come off. There you go. Oh, it's all coming off now. Everything's sticking to my fingers. That's better. Right, so that is practically dry. I'm just going to grab my... Where's my Tombow disappeared to? There it is. So I'm going to stick the watercolour paper down onto some Tranquil Tide. Oh, these are lifting off, aren't they? Come on, stay down. Told you it was fiddly. Once the glue dries, it's fine. It's just I'm not giving it long enough to dry. Okay, and then you can stick these down. I'm going to have to stick that one again afterwards. Ooh, all fingers and thumbs. Let me just grab my piercing tool would help. There you go, and you can just stick them into place. Right, I just did that off screen because it was a bit fiddly, and rather than you watching me trying to battle with that. There you go. Oops, that one slipped off. Right, don't you worry, I'll glue that back on. There you go, our lovely... Do you know what, I should have checked what this was called, vivarium or terrarium, before I came on, because I can't remember. I've left it blank because you can put a sentiment at the bottom, but I quite like the simplicity of this. So thanks ever so much for watching. Do subscribe if you'd like to catch some more of my videos, and do give me a thumbs up if you particularly like this one, and do comment below if you've got any questions or have anything to say. Thanks ever so much, take care, bye.